So basically, Dauntless means fearless and determined.
Yep.
So yeah, Dauntless Soul Brew Company came about like that because I guess
You're fearless and
determined. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Brandon Miller. The city of Omro has beautiful parks, active organizations, and thriving businesses. In partnership with Future Omro, the Omro Area Community Center, and proud sponsorship by Miller Auto, we'd like to welcome you inside Omro. We're at Dauntless Soul in Omro, Wisconsin with LaRae. LaRae, I appreciate you letting us take the opportunity today to do our first podcast actually for Inside Omro with you. So
yeah, I'm excited to be part of it with you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate the invite. Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, kind of tell everybody who you are and your history, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, I'm LaRae, the owner of Dauntless Soul Brew Company. We will be in business for almost 4 years in the end of May. So it went fast and grew very quickly. But yeah, I don't live in Omro. I live in Wautoma, and we have another business in Omro that we run. So just kind of started our roots here, and here we are. So
wonderful.
Yes.
We have that in common. We both live in Wautoma.
Do we? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just north of Wautoma. So,
see?
But Omro's a great place
Yes.
Great community, great place to set up a business and support the local.
Worth the drive every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
So you started in farmers markets and stuff like that. So.
Yes. Yeah. So originally we had lived in Neenah, and when I first started this idea, we ended up signing a lease in Green Bay for a coffee shop. And then COVID happened and shut that down pretty quick. So kind of waited for, I don't know, probably 6 months to try to decide what I wanted to do, if we were going to go into another shop or what. And COVID took longer than we had all expected, I think. So just kind of thought, well, let's start where we can without having a big investment. And so we just started at actually our first event was the Memorial Day car show here in Omro with the tent. And so we did cold brew, Lotus, and just drip coffee is kind of where we started. And so then grew into the farmer's market with that, and the farmer's market took off. I think is where we got a lot of our following from, was the Oshkosh Farmers Market.
Oh, sure.
And those kind of events. So
what made you pick Omro?
Well, like I said, my dad owns another business in town. My husband and I work for him. And just kind of always saw like a lack of community, I guess. Like a community space for people to gather.
Sure.
Nowhere for people to go. A lot of people had asked me to bring a coffee shop to Omro, and I was nervous because like you've always heard like Omro's hard, to get into. Business is hard in Omro. So I thought with the coffee trailer, it was a good way to start it with an easy way to get in, and then it just took off. So definitely something that I think that Omro needed was that sense of community, a safe space to go, and it just kind of grew from there. So
yeah, it's really interesting to me how well your business, kind of exploded, if you will, with having that trailer kind of off the beaten path, kind of hidden a little bit in that courtyard. So obviously you've got good product, you got good following. So props to you for doing it. And you've done a wonderful job with both of your locations. I mean, the remodeling that you've done it's just such a cozy environment. It's
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's another passion of mine is design. So being able to bring coffee, people, and design together, all of my three passions together is pretty fulfilling. So it's great.
That's awesome. So you went to coffee school?
Yes.
What's coffee school?
Yeah, I tell people that, and they're like, what in the world is that? It's really only a week school, but a week of coffee is a lot of coffee. So I went out to Portland, Oregon, and spent a week out there with Bellissimo Coffee School. And so it was learning how to manage a coffee business, learning like from origin of the bean all the way to owning your own shop, how to run the espresso machine, everything you needed to learn in a week's time to own your own business. So it was a lot, but it was well worth it.
So they go into like what different kinds of beans to look for, for resale, or is it more the preparation of it?
More the preparation, but a lot of like if more small batch coffee is going to be single origin, whereas like, more of your grocery store stuff is basically a bunch of Robusta and, cheaper beans that you can get, and they just roast them and,
Sure.
So there's a lot of different scales of coffee, I guess you could say. Quality. Yeah.
Sure.
So get kind of I knew I wanted to go small batch, mostly like a black coffee drinker. So it's
Sure.
funny because like I have all these fancy drinks, but that's my drink of choice, and I like a good black coffee. So I'm very particular on that. It took a long time to figure out what I liked. But anyway, I learned a lot on what to look for at that school, kind of where to start with what I liked. So
absolutely. I'm a black coffee person.
Are you?
Also. I used to drink coffee all day long, and probably 15 years ago, I limited myself to a cup in the morning. And
that's it?
And, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's my pick me up in the morning. And then I, for a long time, I was Mountain Dew all day long, and I cut that out. So now I have a coffee in the morning and maybe a Lotus Energy drink here and there
the
from
afternoon,
Dauntless. Yep. So
yeah, I drink coffee all day, all night. Like I don't shut it off. It's probably bad, but it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Lotus Energy drink, that's a nice addition also. So that's all plant-based, gluten-free.
Yes.
My wife is actually gluten intolerant, so when I saw that it was gluten-free, it's like, that's perfect. Awesome. So.
Yes. Yeah, that's definitely been, it kind of started on the West Coast, and I want to say it was one of the first ones to bring it to our area. I don't know if I was, but really like when we started selling it, I think other shops kind of caught on to what it could be for their shops. Because not everybody's a coffee drinker, and most coffee shops don't carry like a soda or something like that for the other person to drink. So the plant-based energy drinks definitely were something, a whole nother aspect of our business that took off.
Sure.
Very, very popular, and it's fun to be able to add whatever kind of flavor you want. You know, you can really build it out to however you want. So you can do it. It is all plant-based energy, so you're not supposed to get like that crash from it. And then it's all natural and good for you, other than the other sugars that you're putting in there. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you've got sugar-free and caffeine-free options also.
Yes.
Is that Lotus? I assume the coffee you have caffeine-free coffee as well.
Yeah. Yep. So we can do decaf cold brew, lattes, Americanos, and then decaf Lotus as well.
So tell me the difference, because I'm not a craft coffee connoisseur, I guess, but like, what is chai and latte and cappuccino? What's the difference?
The difference between it? Sure. So chai it does have caffeine in it, but it's not really a coffee. It's more like a spice-based tea, so that's more of a tea. But like so let's say a shaken espresso is going to be, for us, is just espresso topped with oat milk, shaken in a shaker. So that's iced. But like a latte would be milk and espresso. And then if you get that hot, like a latte has just a little bit of milk foam on the top, whereas a cappuccino is going to be your espresso milk, but more foam in it. So a little bit, like when you feel a cup, it's going to be a little bit lighter because there's a lot more foam in it versus like the latte. So, yes.
So you change your menu frequently.
Yes.
Tell me how that works.
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword because we started that when we weren't so busy and like people loved it. Now it's a lot to manage, you know, having to change with 2 locations in our event cart, like having to change that every month. The month is gone before you really know it. So, but it's still fun. Like, I do think that's a lot of the reason why we grew so fast, because people were always interested to see what we were coming up with, the next creation. A lot of it I did myself for a long time, and just like inspiration ideas with whatever you might see, like a dessert or like a, you know, something, you're like, oh, I could maybe make a drink that flavor profiles on that.
Sure.
But now my team is really good with coming up with ideas. They'll send me ideas in the middle of the night, or they'll come up with the whole menu for me. So I'm blessed to have them all excited to be able to do that too.
So do you ever have a group get together and just try different mixtures and concoctions? And
every day we do that.
Every day?
yeah. Every day somebody's accidentally making something and we'll try it, or like, oh, I wonder what this is, and
That's
you know,
awesome.
we'll try it and then write it down if it's something that, you know, we think we should put on the menu another time. So yeah, I give them a lot of freedom to do that kind of stuff, because I know what I like, but you know, what I like isn't always what everybody else likes. So it's good to have a mix of opinions in there.
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Yeah, that's, we're in the car business, obviously, and that was one of the hardest things to overcome for me. Was I would buy cars based on what I liked, and so so we both, Austin and I, kind of got out of that a little bit. So
have to think what does everybody else like? Yeah.
So you have KB Treats, kind of a partnership with KB Treats
Yes.
with their bakery and stuff like that.
I ended up finding her at I think she was at like an event or something, and I had one of her treats and thought it was delicious. And then I contacted her afterwards to order some more from her, and she delivered it to the trailer when we had the trailer parked in front of Erie Waterproofing. And I don't really know how the conversation started, but somehow we started. She just asked if she could come try to sell treats there with me. And since then, she's been along with me for the ride. So yeah, we're a good team.
It's a great connection or a
Yes.
great supplement. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
They go well together.
They do. And
Treats and coffee.
Yeah. I'm not interested in the food side of things. Like, that is one thing that a lot of people ask me if I'm going to do food. And it's just a whole nother element that I'm not ready to bring on. So with her taking over the treats, it's a whole, like, I don't have to think about it. She comes up with her own ideas, and it's nice because, it just complements the coffee. So
and it's
for
a
sure.
surprise, I'm sure. The menu changes just like the drink menus change. So
Yes.
it's never a dull moment.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
You invested a fair amount in a mobile trailer also.
Yes.
What's your plans for that?
Yeah, so we purchased that, probably almost 2 years ago in August. It'll be 2 years. And our plan was to go to Menards and have a drive-through location in Oshkosh. Worked for a very long time trying to get that all squared away. And we came up with an agreement, but they would only sign like a 5-year lease with us. And for the amount of investment that we had put into the property, it just wasn't worth it to like only gamble on that 5 years.
Sure.
We pulled out of that kind of deal and thought we'll try to find somewhere else to go with it. But to make it a permanent structure, it's a lot more work than we had anticipated, at least with like City of Oshkosh's regulations. In other cities it might be easier, but so now it's just like a lawn ornament at my house, and
but it's there for when
the
opportunity arises.
Yeah, I don't know if now that we're kind of spoiled with the brick and mortars, I don't know if we'll use it or if we're just going to sell it. But it's a beautiful trailer. I'd love to put it to work somewhere, but as of now, it's just hanging out.
How does it work with two locations? Are you bouncing back and forth, or you have how does that work?
Yeah. So I have a lead barista in each location, so they kind of like keep everything running, but I do have to go between both of them quite a bit. So it's always running. Always running, yes. One place to another. And then we have the event cart, so I'm always at the event, so then I run the
what kind of events are you still doing farmers markets and that kind of thing, or are you going to businesses and doing business events, or?
Yeah, mostly to like corporate events so we built out a coffee cart so we can go inside places. So we'll go to corporate events, weddings, baby showers, anywhere that wants coffee inside, basically. We take that too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of posts on your Facebook page of, Ripon area and just all over the place, you delivering drinks. So I think that's great. Did you start that as the construction in Omro started, or have you always done that? Or?
We introduced that probably a couple of months ago. Well, maybe when we were still in the trailer. I think we were doing it a little bit just to see if it would take off, because we had a lot of, like, DoorDash would contact us saying we have people wanting us to deliver, but I don't really. DoorDash has a fee, and then you have to, our customers have to pay that and all that. So we tried to do it a little bit when we were at the trailer, and it took off a little bit and then kind of fizzled out. So we thought, well, with the road construction, let's bring it back. Yeah,
it seems like every day you're posting a delivery somewhere, so that's awesome.
Yeah,
and I think
great.
That's what I noticed about the Omro community especially when we opened the express service downtown or next to the laundromat, is the community members loyal to the businesses in Omro.
Yes.
And it's just amazing. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to start a podcast, for the businesses, the community organizations, because I saw how much they supported our business. The longer we were in business in Omro, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm doing enough for the community. So this is kind of one of my attempts to give back to the community and, make Omro a better place, if you will. Not that it's a bad place. It's a great place, but just add a little bit.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
So one of the things that I noticed in the few times that we've spoke is, and my little bit of research that I did online, your numbers, business.
Yes.
Did you do any kind of business obviously I think your parents are in business and so forth. So did you pick up a lot of that from them, or where do you get your entrepreneurial background from?
Definitely my dad. Yeah. My dad has been an entrepreneur all his life, and I just grew up. He owned a TV shop, so when I was little, I was at the TV shop with him, and just always grew up with him in his business. So just watched him. I'm not really good with numbers on paper. Like math is terrible strong suit. But I do definitely have a passion for being an entrepreneur, and I get that from my dad for sure. Yeah. So
That's
just
awesome.
watching him and helping him in his business, and then just I think knowing my product and my customer base really well is really what has helped me be successful. I think, and just being honest, like not trying to be a salesperson, and being a present business owner and knowing what's going on.
Yeah, 100%.
And continued education, like learning as much as you can always learn more. So every time you have a chance to learn about your industry, I think it's important to continue to do that as much as you can. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Not to get too specific, but Omro to Redgranite, how do they compare as far as volume and?
Yeah, so they're definitely very different. Different clientele, different. Like Redgranite's more.
Seasonal?
Seasonal, yeah.
Sure.
Seasonal, definitely seasonal. We have our base group, which they're all amazing. They keep us going in the wintertime, but definitely picks up, hopefully after Memorial Day here where everybody's coming up to their campsites and everything, then it's much busier. But Omro, I didn't notice like how much people stopped that were traveling through, I guess. I always thought it was kind of our customer base that kept us going, but we do get a lot of new people all the time, whereas in Redgranite, it's kind of the same group that's always coming through. In the summertime, they're pretty similar, but in the wintertime, Omro's definitely more busy. Yeah, keeps on the steadier crowd.
Sure.
Yeah.
When you moved from your trailer in the courtyard to here, how did that change your business? How did it increase the business?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was nervous with this location. I didn't want to leave downtown. We loved that spot down there, but definitely the first probably 2 months before construction started, we've probably tripled our daily sales.
Oh, good for you.
Than what we were down there. Yeah. So it definitely
seems like there's always cars in the lot in front. Definitely a lot more visibility.
Yes.
Yes. The other thing that I noticed with Omro when we opened the express shop, the exterior of the building was painted. We renovated the interior. The community absolutely loves that. So when they see you painting the building, and I think it spikes some interest and gets people in the door, and that's what it's all about. Is
I think if you take pride in your business and in what it looks like, it's naturally going to bring people in.
Yeah,
because they're
just
curious.
Like you said.
And to see what it is and to take a look at it. But yeah, definitely, I think the accessibility here is much better than it was downtown. I didn't realize how hard it was for people to figure out how to find us down there. Could they park? Could they go around? So I think that's a big part of like the increase is it's just more visibility and easier to get to for sure.
Yeah, just like you said, if you have a good product and you're honest, that speaks volumes.
Probably too honest to a fault as like a business owner, but I feel like that's what's helped me grow. Is I treat most of my customers as family. They all, a lot of them, I'm friends with them on Facebook, and they know my story. They know who I am, and I know who they are, and I wouldn't change it. So
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Building a community.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. Yeah.
So Redgranite, you opened in 2025.
Yes.
How did that come about?
So Sunshine Coffee was there beforehand, and she was a great great owner. I talked to her a lot, stopped in there a lot, and she just decided it wasn't for her anymore. And I just think that every community needs some sort of space. Mm-hmm. And she built something really special there, and I didn't want it to just go away. So that was not at all in my plans. Redgranite was never in my sights. Sure. But it just kind of happened, and we made it work, and we're happy we did, and did some changes there, and yeah, it turned out really nice, and it's a smaller location, but we love it. So,
more intimate.
Yes, more intimate. Yes, yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and we tried to kind of like decorate that one with that's a little bit more woodsy or a little bit more cabiny, and because it's kind of in that area. So tried to decorate it for the atmosphere it was in.
So your renovation processes at both locations, did you guys put the elbow grease in yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thankfully, my husband's very talented with woodworking and getting all that kind of stuff done. The only thing we hired out here was the painting on the outside because we were under a crunch to get that done before the snow flew or where it was too cold. We scraped by on that. I don't know how it's going to last. We'll see. But but otherwise, yes, my husband and I, my dad, a lot of family members, a lot of teammates, they all helped bring it together.
Lot quick turnaround too. I mean, how long did it take you to remodel this location, including painting the exterior of the building and everything?
It had to be under 30 days ish. Yeah.
I was thinking 3 weeks.
Yes.
I drove past it quite a bit, and I'm like, wow, they're moving. So. And
then Redgranite, I think we got in there end of February, and we were open April 1st ish. So that was a quick turnaround too. And that was all out, exterior and interior, total remodel too. So a lot of late nights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's one of those things where when you start it, you just want to get it done, and you just pound through it.
Yeah. When I have a vision or an idea, like I have to act on it pretty quickly.
Yep.
So sadly, the people in my life have to deal with that.
Well, that's how you get things done.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
So tell me how the name Dauntless Soul came about.
Okay. Well, originally it was going to be Drunken Bean because I wanted to do coffee and alcohol.
That's kind of cute. Though.
Yeah, it was fun, but it didn't really have any meaning behind it. So I don't know. I had a conversation with somebody about how your business should reflect you or have some meaning behind it. So I just kind of asked on Facebook like what words came to mind when people thought about me, and so a lot of it was fearless, determined. So basically, Dauntless means fearless and determined. Yep. So yeah, Dauntless Soul Brew Company came about like that because I guess.
You're fearless and
determined. Yeah.
I love, unfortunately you can't see it on the camera, but I love the picture that I'm looking at that says, be brave enough to try.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If you don't try, you don't know. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you think you can't, you're right.
Right. Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm never scared to try something. Like, I don't know. I live in that risky category, which isn't always good, but if you don't try, you don't know. Yeah.
No risk, no reward.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. It's difficult to, decide to start a business.
Yeah.
Especially if you're, when you're working, you've got a steady income stream. You get a paycheck every week. As long as you show up, and business isn't that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it has ups and downs. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for the world, but at the same time, there's a lot of stressful times, and there's a lot of wonderful times too. But it's tough being
there's
a
no
business
clocking
owner.
out.
There's no clocking out.
Yeah, you're always on the clock for sure. So I think that's one thing that people don't realize when they think to own a business. They don't really think about it's like glamorous, and they're gonna, I can make my own hours and do whatever I want. But I think that's a lot of reason why people fail is because they don't really they don't know what they're signing up for, and it's a commitment, and that's your life, really.
Yeah, a lot of people want to go into business so that they can be their own boss, and they don't realize that everybody is their boss.
Right. Yes.
So, yeah, it's Yeah, it takes a special person to be in business, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So what did you do prior to starting Dauntless Soul?
So I worked in factories for a few years after graduating. So I didn't go to college. Out of high school, I went and worked at Magnum Products in Berlin. And I didn't realize I was mechanically inclined, but I'm mechanically inclined. So I kind of started doing electromechanical technology with Magnum, learning how to wire generators and that kind of stuff. And then went to technical support at Alliance Laundry Systems, worked there for a little bit. And I loved that. Like, I loved working with my hands, wiring, that kind of stuff. But it was cubicle work, and I'm too much of a people person. So, definitely felt the lack of connection with people. And so that's kind of what got the wheels spinning.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
How many employees do you employ now?
I think we're up to 24 now.
Wow.
Yes.
24.
24. Yeah.
And
hiring.
And hiring.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
What's the best method that you found for attracting your talent, if you will?
I don't have to do anything. They come to me.
Is that
honestly, right? Yes. Yeah. And I think that's just the atmosphere we build. And I think my team speaks for like they speak for themselves when people come in and they say, oh, I think this will be a fun atmosphere to work. Like, and my team's always there for me. So I feel like people must think I might be a good boss to work for. I don't know. But
I'm sure you are.
Yeah. So generally I just get a lot of emails and inquiries on if we're hiring or not, and then go from there. I'm not a good interviewer. I'm a terrible interviewer. So my interviews are just basically talking to a person and
if you like them.
Yes, if I like their vibes, then you're hired, and if not, then we'll talk to you later. See you again. But
right.
I've been fortunate with our hires for sure. And when I look at our crew, I'm so proud of them, and I don't know how I got so lucky to be able to count on all of them as I can. So
primarily part-time people, full-time, both mix.
We have a mix. Yeah, I think 4 or 5, mostly full-time-ish, 35 to 40 hours a week, and then the rest would be part-time.
What hours are you open? Both Omro and Redgranite.
Redgranite is open 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 3, and then Saturday, 7:30 to 3, Sunday, 8 to 1. And then Omro is 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 6, Saturday, 7:30 to 3, and Sunday, 8 to 1.
It's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours.
A lot of hours. Yep.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
And that's, I'm sure that the part-time people help cover those hours a lot better than I would think that it would be difficult to hire full-time people to try and cover all of those hours.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. We're able to break it up where some of the part-timers will take certain shifts, and over the course of some employees will go to Redgranite, some employees will come here. So I don't know. We're able to work it out. Yeah.
Sure.
There's a good mix.
So they can bounce.
Yes.
Wherever they might be needed for the day or what have you.
Yes. Yeah. Which is
awesome.
helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we're a little bit more flexible on what we can do for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what are your future plans?
Oh man, I don't know. I know I want an Oshkosh location. We have something in the works there now. Can't say anything yet.
Sure. Can't break the news
can't
here
break
first.
the news. Yeah, no.
I tried.
But I would like to physically own 3 locations, and then be able to promote my team to start building or owning their own if they would like.
Oh,
so
nice.
That's kind of my goal. I don't want to franchise, but own or operate at some time. I just think there's such a need for what we provide in communities, and I can't do it all. I know that, so I just want to build something where I can build up teammates to be able to do that in other locations if they choose. So that's kind of my goal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Enabling somebody to, better themselves and even get into business themselves that's amazing.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Give them a chance to work here, and figure it out and see if it's something they really want to do, and if they're passionate about it, then have an avenue for them to do that if they want. Yeah.
Good for you.
That's my goal.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you have a lot of community involvement also. So I saw that you have the library does a book club.
Yes.
Here.
Yes. So they've been doing that for probably 3 years now, I would say. Yeah. Yeah.
So did they do it in the courtyard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they did.
And you had the little huts, so
yes.
In the winter they could
cozy
up in there.
We went in the building in the winter
okay.
time. We'd open up the front of the building because we kind of had that half done in there, and so they would go in there in the winter time, and then in the summertime hang out in the courtyard. And we have the Omro Hotties, which is a big group of senior women who come every Friday. So they've been with us for pretty much since we opened too, and followed us here, and a lot of community involvement. Yes, we wouldn't be where we are without them for sure. So, and I like to get involved in the community as much as I can. So, help where I can. And
it's hard when you're working 12, 14, 16, 18 hours a day.
Yes, it is. It is hard, but you got to be there for them because they're there for us.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have a 3-year lease at this location?
Yeah. So we're here for 3 years, and then we'll kind of see.
Option to renew, or
yes, we have first right to renew. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. So,
Nice.
Main goal would be to have our own standalone spot somewhere, that we own and would be able to do what we wanted. But there's not a lot of options in Omro.
Does having the gas station next to this location, I would assume that would probably help business some, being that it's kind of a two-business location, if you
Sure.
will. So
Yeah. I don't know if we notice a lot of traffic from people from the gas station that come over here. I know a lot of our customers will come here and then go to the gas station. Yeah.
So you've helped their business.
Yes. Yeah. I think we have. But I think it is nice. Like if somebody stops at the gas station and they didn't realize there was a coffee shop, I'm sure they're running in here and grabbing something, and they don't really serve coffee over there. So,
Sure.
If they needed a coffee, they'll run over by us. But yeah. It's different sharing for sure. With being in a shared space, but it's been nice. Yeah, we enjoy it. So
Wonderful.
Yeah.
They obviously didn't have any issues with the remodeling or the painting. What did that process look like as far as getting approval to do what you wanted to do?
We kind of took, I like to take leaps of faith. So when the Mexican restaurant was in here, our timeline, we were under a crunch to get moved by a certain time. So the Mexican restaurant hadn't terminated their lease yet in order for us to start our lease. So we did most of the work without a lease signed, which kind of got me in trouble at our old location. So we put up the money as a risk, but we didn't really have an option. We had to find this new spot to go. So they give us free reign, and we could do whatever we wanted. But yeah, it was kind of like hope and pray that whatever was going to be in the lease was going to be agreeable, because we didn't really know what was going to be in it until after the remodel was basically done. So yeah, I think we signed the physical lease the day before we opened. So that's how much we had done before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But it all worked out.
It all worked out. Worked out. Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to take the opportunity. Yeah. Like we said, no risk, no reward.
Right.
Be brave enough to try.
Yes. Exactly. Yep. Yep. So it was worth it. We're happy with it. Our customers are happy with the new space, I think, and then eventually this summer we'll get the outdoor space again. So I know people miss the courtyard atmosphere, but we'll bring it back on the outside.
What's your plans for your outside courtyard?
So I have a big plan, but with the construction, I don't know if we'll be able to do it all this year. But essentially, we'll kind of strip that all down out there, put some new, I don't know if we'll do stone or if we'll concrete it, and then we'll bring our lights back, and we'll have some kind of barrier. It's going to be out where the drive-through kind of section is.
Okay.
It's a bigger area than it looks, pretty much the size of the courtyard, really. So we'll be able to get a lot of outdoor seating out there, and then we'll kind of seclude it a little bit so it's a little bit more intimate, and yeah, so it'll add a lot of seating, I think, out there, and people can hang out. And then we'll try to have live music again and all that kind of stuff.
So after 3 years, is your goal to have your own location at the end of the 3 years?
I would like it. 3 years goes fast, though.
It does.
You don't realize how fast 3 years go. So, ideally at the end of the 3 years, maybe I have a plan to build something else, and then we extend another year or two while that's getting built. So it's not...
Maybe take your time a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit more time. So we'll see. Yeah, if there's a spot that makes sense for us to build an Omro, I would love that. Or if something else opens up. But
sure.
Right now, knowing what's out there, I don't see a physical property that would make sense. Especially now that we know that the drive-through, how successful the drive-through is. It would have to be a location that would
support a
have a drive-through. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I see a lot of cars going through the drive-through as I drive by.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Definitely. I like to go through the drive-through too, so if I don't have to get out, I don't have,
especially winter time.
Yeah, and in the winter time, and you don't want to freeze. So
downtown area or
it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter either back downtown or on this side of town. Either way, I don't. I would have said downtown for sure before, but it's kind of nice. I think we get a lot of people that didn't travel all the way downtown. That's what I'm saying, because I don't know where all the people are coming from that we didn't have before, if it's just the visibility or if like people were coming from Oshkosh and stopping at Piggly Wiggly or stopping at the gas station, going to Quick Trip or whatever, but never really venturing downtown to know we were there.
Sure.
So either side, I would love something on the river. I think we could build something really cool on the river and a place for people to come on the boats. And I think that's something we have to learn to utilize in Omro.
Yeah.
Is the river that we have. There's a lot of potential for growth here, but
they really have nice docking areas. The building that we just bought, Bob's old place, that's riverfront there. And
yes.
Too bad we don't work on boats, but
right.
or refuel them or what have you.
Yeah,
but,
right.
I mean, it's really a nice riverbank there.
Yes, there's a lot of opportunity down there, I think.
Yeah, Omro's really a beautiful. I mean, the parks, everything that they have. Unfortunately, we've got to deal with the construction this year. Do you have any game plans to navigate the construction this year?
So for the long, we've known about construction for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just thought, I'm going to put it on my mind, not worry about it, right? Because I don't like to worry about things. But now that it's here, it's a little bit more scary than I anticipated. And then kind of learning all these extra things that were happening that we didn't know about. When we were first told it was going to be Main Street's open, the bridge isn't going to be closed. Yeah. You're only going over to E. So I'm like, it wasn't that big of a detour. I didn't think for people to be able to navigate.
Sure.
But then, as the things pile on, it gets a little bit scarier on if we're going to be closed out completely or not.
Yeah. June is going to be if they end up closing the bridge and making that one way, that's going to be difficult. That's going to hurt.
Yeah. I think that's the scariest part, because you're forcing people to split and go around us, and they're not going to come back around. That's too far of a detour to come back around.
Right.
Which is scary for us and for any other business that's downtown there. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, we went, and this was a statistic that I was told, I think 5 years ago. We've been in business where this is going to be our 5-year anniversary.
Is it already?
Year.
Oh, that's fast. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It
like a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
But when we first opened, the chamber gave me a statistic that it was like 25,000 vehicles that travel 21 every day.
Yeah.
So when you go from 25,000 to maybe 5,000,
right?
A significant decrease in traffic.
Yes.
So, it's.
And then people, your local people are going to support you, but they can only support so many business, and they have bills and things to do too. They can't spend all their money at each local business to try to keep them floating for what is it going to be 6 or 7 months? So
right.
You can't put it on them either. So it's hard.
It is.
It's going to be scary.
I think we just need to keep talking about the community and keep supporting the businesses and
working together. I think we have Downtown Omro, I think, has a really good group of business owners. And if we can all band together and be creative on things, I think we can get through it and work together. That's one of the things I do love about coffee, and why I kind of got into it too. It's not as cutthroat as some other businesses where everybody's out for themselves.
Yeah, and I think a lot of, especially in communities like Omro, we don't look at other businesses that do similar things as competition.
Right.
I don't look at Main Tire as competition. We work well together. We communicate all the time. We do the towing for them.
Sure.
We help each other out all the time. We might have a tool that they don't have, or they might have a tool that we don't have.
Right.
So and we're not out to take his business from him. And when we opened the express shop and by the laundromat there, I went in and I talked to Jerry and said, "Hey, we're going to do this," and he says, "Plenty of work for everybody."
Yeah.
So, and I think same thing with especially restaurants. The Fox Lanes and Moore's Den, and they all have Fox House. They all have their offerings, and when you have multiple businesses that even do the same thing, you're creating options and you're creating a destination for people to come to.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely, especially in bigger cities, it's more cutthroat and it's more, you know, trash talking or
yes,
what have you. But when you're in a community like Omro, if you're going to try and be cutthroat, I don't think the community will stand for it.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
You know,
yeah, they're going to kind of push you out. Yeah, for sure.
So
it is a tight knit community, and everybody seems to work together, and which is a nice thing to have for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. I see. You know, we'll be at bowling at Fox Lanes, and I'll see the gentleman that owns the wine bar.
Oh yes, Drew.
Yes,
yep.
I'll see Drew from
Solvino.
Solvino, yes. I don't know why it escaped my, but he'll be in Fox Lanes and chatting it up. He's a great guy.
Yes,
So it's it's definitely a community. I guess to be honest with you, I didn't think I would ever have a business in Omro. You know, I grew up around Berlin in my high school years and so forth, and the old Park Place. I used to go through that lot when I was in high school, looking at cars and, and everything, and it just kind of happened, and here we are, and I'm glad that it did, because Omro's a great community.
Yeah, well, and I think that's like I didn't really think about because I was here a lot. I knew there was a lack, but whether this was my choice, would have been my first choice to open a coffee shop, probably not. I'm glad I did, but yeah, I think it's one of those that are kind of missed as a spot to open a business, and maybe because it's just not marketed as well as it could be for potential, because you do have all you have that 21 traffic, and so I think. I don't know who markets that or whatever, but I think there's a potential for a lot of businesses to come here and thrive if it's done the right way. And
it's very difficult for a smaller community to do that kind of marketing. And Future Omro does a good job promoting the local businesses. The city administrator Brandon, which unfortunately we lost to Madison.
Yes.
He really seemed to really try and do what he could for the city.
Yes. I would agree.
I think when you were in between places or getting ready to move in here, he actually came to me and asked, because we just bought the MasterCards building, and asked if we would let you guys set up your trailer there, and absolutely,
Yes.
So
he did go above and beyond to help us find a new spot. And I remember him telling me that he had went and talked to you, and I was going to come talk to you, and then kind of this ended up, it was like a couple days, I think, after he had talked to you, that the Mexican restaurant suddenly closed, and that kind of all happened. All
happened for a reason.
Yes. But we did go back behind your shop and kind of looked at a spot on, down there where the city would have allowed me to park, and like that would have worked too, and
I would have cleaned that whole parking lot up, and you could have used that whole site. Yeah, absolutely. Thank because I mean we have cars parked there now, but at the time we didn't. We bought that late in the year. I was happy to get that painted before winter.
Yes.
And so we didn't really technically have any plans for it, so I was all for it.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was pretty amazing to see. I mean, I think I had every business owner reach out. So many people reach out trying to find us a new spot for the even just our white trailer. Like, come park it here. Do whatever you want to do with it, which is great. But like, there's a lot that people don't see that have to go with a mobile unit if you're going to be parked permanently. If you're not parked permanently, you have to haul it off every 2 days, and all this stuff. Yeah. So there was a lot more that they didn't see versus just like parking there. But definitely appreciated everybody reaching out and trying to find any way that they could help. So many offers on places to go. So it was pretty amazing. Yeah. I think that's when I knew like we had built something special here for sure, was the amount of support that was behind us during that time that we needed it for sure. So yes.
And that had to be a stressful time.
Yes.
That had to be
it was stressful. Pretty crazy. When you're envisioning something for so long, like we had waited for that for so long, and unfortunately Bob passed away, and then we thought thought it was going to be what it was going to be eventually whenever that happened, and then it just kind of didn't happen, and we had to quickly pivot. And I think that's something that business owners have to know how to do, because otherwise you'll fail. Like if you don't know how to pick it up and hurry up and change gears, and you're just willing to give up, and I guess that's the determined part of me. I'm stubborn that way. Like I'm going to figure it out one way or another. I'm not willing to give up. So yeah.
When Austin and I started in business, that's kind of what I told him. We did a business plan. We did everything kind of as you should, if you will. And he's like, what happens if it doesn't work? And I said, it's got to happen.
Yeah.
It's got to work.
That's not an option.
That's not an option.
Yes,
we just have to make it work.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I think if you have that mindset, and failure is not an option.
Yep. And now you guys have 3 spots in Omro too. So yeah. I think if you if you envision it, it'll come and you'll figure it out. And every roadblock that happens, you'll overcome it one way or another.
And as stressful as it is, to me, that's kind of the fun part of the business.
Yes. Not everybody's meant for this. Like not everybody is built for it. I can carry a lot of stress, but other people that I know, I think it would crush them, if they knew what you had to deal with on a daily basis. But yes, I think there's a certain person that can be an entrepreneur and handle that, and they thrive off of it and love it, and then they're looking for the next thing. I always say, I'm so tired. I don't want to do anything else, but then my mind starts going, and I'm like, okay, this could be really fun. Let's go do this. And then I'm, on to the next thing. But I think that's just when you love what you do and you want to continue to build it, you're never tired of it. It's just, it's not really a job.
Building business is fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's a challenge and it's rewarding.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And stressful all at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well,
good.
I think we can probably wrap it up here.
Right.
I really want to thank you for allowing us to do this with you.
Yeah,
and,
it was fun.
I think you got a great business going on.
Thank you.
Admire your courage and entrepreneurial fortitude.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
We'll have to do this again.
Okay.
Maybe when you're coming up on a new event or a new move or what have
something,
you. Or anytime.
Yeah.
Reach out if you got some specials or something.
All right. Cool.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
All
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.